a cup, pass a cheetah, yep, on a mic.
Alright. Press record, flow naturally, I'm riding a bike.
Alright. Send a DM to someone I like, come on, be a guest.
Alright. If it's just Chang and Hoff, it's a yapping duet. Wet, 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 wet. Okay.
Hey.
Hey. What's up? Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Chang Hoff podcast. We are here with our lovely guest, Paloma.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, thank you for being on. We really appreciate you coming here, working with us. You just made a beautiful song.
Oh, thank you so much.
Beautiful, beautiful song.
Beautiful song.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been good. I feel like we have a good workflow together. This wasn't our
Definitely.
first time making music together.
Yeah.
So we have a little bit of practice, but I feel like we kind of recognize the areas that we typically need to work on, and
Yeah.
when we get through those, it's good.
No, yeah, we have a great workflow together. You're very, very talented. So I feel like I'm in good hands whenever I make music with you. So, yeah, but just thank you for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so who is Paloma? Why should people care about Paloma?
Paloma is a young Black queer woman who makes very introspective music. I think that I talk about topics that are not very aren't very spoken about. I'm very introspective as a person, and I feel like I'm very I say anything that's on my mind. It's very much like a flow of thought or just like all train of thought music. And I feel like anyone who experiences like loneliness or like very much introspection and is just like a very romantic person, I feel like they would love my music. I try to keep the topics very broad, but I don't know, I feel like I always have that thread of me within everything, and I hope everyone finds it like relatable, you know. But yeah, that's me.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So how did you find your way to music?
I'd say when I was about 12, I got like a iPad for Christmas, and then I started using GarageBand like all the time because I was obsessed with FK Twigs, and I loved her electronic like sound. And yeah, I just started messing around with GarageBand, making like alt pop R&B things. But I've been like writing ever since I was a kid. Like I love writing. That's my favorite part. Like I'm a very lyric heavy person. So like poetry, lyrics, like anything. I always wanted to write a screenplay. I like started writing a screenplay also. So yeah, that's how I got into music. And I also did like band in like middle school. And then that was it. But I didn't do music throughout high school. I did like choir for like 4 years, but nothing too crazy. Never played an instrument before.
Did you at any point have like a class or group or anything where you were working on writing or poetry or anything, or has that always been something you did on your own?
It was always something I did on my own. I think when I was in my junior and senior year of high school, I was in dual enrollment. I was like that annoying kid that did dual enrollment. And I had like a really interesting teacher that was very, very strict and like really hard on everyone. And every time that I wrote essays, she would always like grade me really well. So I always felt like super validated by her because she was always hard on everyone. And so having that validation, I kind of was just like, you know what? I do like writing, and I do love just like writing and, you know, getting my thoughts out on paper. But other than that, I didn't really have a group that I would like express my music with, really. No. But yeah, that was it.
But you found like in your English classes, you were naturally drawn to, was it more like narrative stuff or?
I love writing essays, like any like research essays, also like scientific, like research based essays. I love like short form, like narrative essays. Like I love personal essays when people write personal essays. Those books are really interesting to me. Just any long form writing is just really beautiful to me, and I always felt very connected to it. So I love reading. So yeah.
Are you one of those people who watch the 2-hour-long YouTube videos?
I am.
About whatever topic?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I love like, well, maybe not 2 hours, but I think like Drew Gooden. I don't know if you guys know who Drew Gooden is, and like what is it, like Danny Gonzalez, like those
Mhm.
people, they're like super funny. I also love like anything comedy too. So if you can mix like comedy and like also being like super intellectual and like educated, I am obsessed with it. So yeah, love long form stuff.
So take us through some of your musical inspirations. Who has inspired you over time?
Well, as I said before, like FK Twigs, like that was the first person I think I listened to in like my preteen years that I was like, whoa, you can make music that sounds like insane. I love Fiona Apple. Love Fiona Apple. Mitski was also a really big one for me. SZA, obviously. Lauryn Hill. I love like Sade. Like my parents are Haitian, and they always had such a big music like selection. So like Sade, a lot of French music, a lot of Haitian music, even like Brazilian music, just like bossa nova, like all those types of music, really influenced me in everything that I do. But lyric heavy is very much like Mitski, Fiona Apple, SZA. Like those are the type of people that I really feel inspiration from. Yeah. I'm trying to see who else. Also, I love like every genre of music. Like I don't think that I hate any genre. Maybe I just don't listen to like metal, like heavy metal, but everything else I think I listen to. You can find it in a playlist. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear more of those musical influences too. I feel like a lot of like your writing comes across as really like developed and like it comes from many places. Like it comes across, and you say that you've been writing for a long time, and it comes across in the like you're, I don't know, it's at a place where it's you, like it's developed as kind of a distinct voice.
Thank you. I always like find struggle in that. I always feel like all the things I write, I'm just like, damn, does this sound like someone else? Like I feel like I am like trying to rip off someone else. Like I think it's just like imposter syndrome also within like making any type of art. You have like imposter syndrome, but that's really nice of you to say that it's like very me, because it is very much just train of thought, just like writing it down.
Yeah.
And things like pop up like throughout the day. I could like stay not writing for like weeks, and then like a full week I'm just like writing constantly. So it just depends. But thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been cool working on stuff. Looking forward to getting some of your stuff out, getting it to some more people.
I know. I'm excited.
I feel like a lot of people are gonna enjoy it and have ideas or have curiosities about working with you. And I think like being able to work with some more artists and like connect with people, you can tap into a lot of those different influences and like hear different sounds and
yeah. Yeah, I would love to. Jacob, do you make music?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
I dabble. I dabble when I'm in here. Sometimes.
What do you guys like to listen to? Like, what are your favorite stuff? I feel like I'm turning the interview on you now.
I'm very rap heavy.
Rap, okay.
Yeah. Very rap heavy. That's pretty much the majority of what I listen to. I also do feel like you, where I grew up with a lot of different sounds and a lot of different genres of music that were being played around the house and around my different family members and whatnot. And I've had my phases where I've gone through a bunch of different genres, but for the most part, it's rap.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What about you?
I mean, I go all over. I think I always come back to jazz. I always come back to like R&B, neo soul. Yeah. I love just like some musicians going at it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, recently, I don't know. Recently a lot more R&B, a lot more kind of like modern jazz, like some like Yusuf Days. Who else? But then older stuff. Like I'm always listening to Oscar Peterson. I'm always listening to I don't know. You can look at my Spotify and see. But, and a lot of times like it'll be driven by whatever I'm working on or like whoever I'm working with. You know, so if I'm like playing accompaniment for R&B artists, it's like, okay, I'm listening to
more R&B.
Whatever it be, more R&B, more like and learning songs and getting into that, just getting into the idiom and like getting into what kind of things people play. Yeah, which I was very deep into rap for a long time. And like I still keep up, but I feel like it's not my go-to anymore actually these days.
Wow.
I'm not listening to rap as much. Maybe that's a lie actually. I'm still listening to I'm listening to a lot of Mike right now.
I love Mike. Yeah, love Mike. He's
Mike.
really good.
And like
That one song with Earl Sweatshirt's really good.
Yeah. A lot of Mike always, a lot of Smino always.
I feel like the first rapper I got into was like Tyler the Creator when I was like in middle school, when I should not have been listening to Tyler the Creator. Like should not have been listening to Goblin, but I was like down on SoundCloud. So whole Odd Future.
Yeah.
Like that also is like an influence for me. Cause I feel like that first like compilation album that they made where like Frank Ocean was still like Odd Future, like that really influenced me too, because I started becoming obsessed with Frank Ocean. And yeah, he's just the GOAT.
Yeah, I think Frank Ocean is someone who lends himself to be obsessed over.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
Because he's so mysterious.
He's sick of us, I'm sure. But.
Yeah, he's so mysterious. He has like this, like, I don't know.
He's literally a mythical creature at this point. Yeah.
And I love that. I think that's really cool.
I think so too. Yeah. I really admire that about Frank Ocean. Because
he's just so, like, his lyrics are so personal. Like everything he writes is such poetry, and I like that he is like, no, you guys can't know anything about me actually. Like you only know me from my lyrics and only know me from my music. You can't really find like that many interviews about him. So I think that's cool too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you like to take that approach in your musical career? I
mean, yeah. I think I'm a very private person. I'm a very I don't want to be like I'm a loner. Like I don't think I'm a loner, but I am an only child. So like I'm very just like to myself. I'm very like observant. I'm very just like, I'm not really the one that's like talking a lot. So I do think the name like Paloma is very much just like my first name. Don't like, no one needs to know my last name. Like I can go by a mononym. Like that is a different persona than who I am. Because I think also my music, like the lyrics are very just like straightforward and way more straightforward than I could ever be. So I do see like a little distinction from that, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's healthy to keep some amount of distance. Like it's definitely cool as an artist to have personal aspects, but there's definitely benefits to like it would be scary to have everybody know everything about you.
Yeah.
It'd be tough to be. Imagine like a Frank Ocean or like somebody who's at that level, or
like a Taylor Swift or
like, Taylor Swift is a whole different like
Beyonce, like knowing everything. I don't need to know everything about you, and that sucks that you have to go through that. Like, but you do like put yourself in it because you are such a big artist. But I do kind of feel bad for them that they can't even like go to Publix or something. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of sucks.
It seems to them that it's a worthwhile trade-off for how they wanted their careers to go and how their lives to be. But yeah, I can see that that's really annoying. Even just like, obviously we're not a huge podcast or anything, but
we should have worn masks. We should have been disguised.
Daft Punk.
But it's just like being like public facing. I've really, like, since we started the podcast, really I've found myself distancing myself from being like online social media. Like I don't have Instagram on my phone anymore. Like I just like, if we weren't doing this podcast, I would have deleted my accounts for everything a long time ago.
Yeah. No, I completely, I don't even post on Instagram anymore. I used to like post on TikTok a lot, just like try to get my music out on like a different account. And I'm not going to say the name of the account because I don't want anyone, all my friends to know. But yeah, I was, and then after like the ban, whatever. Anyways, TikTok, I just stopped posting on social media, the 14-hour ban. I stopped posting on social media like the past like year. And I guess now that I like want to make more music, I have to like start posting again. It's like, damn. Oh, can I swear on this?
Yeah.
You will bleep it out or something?
No.
Oh. Okay, right.
Raw and unfiltered.
Right. The sponsorships, when the sponsorships are coming in, you gotta start bleeping it.
Yeah, then we'll just make sure that we don't swear like within
I don't know, I've
90 seconds.
90 seconds of it.
I've had some crazy sponsored segments.
Yeah.
Same.
Sponsors are more chill nowadays.
Yeah. But any sponsors who want to hit us up?
I'm curious about that. I feel like I've had times where I really wanted to just escape social media. I feel like right now I'm feeling okay about it. Like I kind of like I like Instagram as a way to keep up with people and just like see what people are doing and put what I'm doing out there.
Yeah.
Like I think personally, as especially like trying to produce for people, trying to perform and meet people, I've definitely had a lot of good experiences of meeting people and getting to know people through.
I mean, we met through Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
I think it was shout out Asia. I think it was Asia's broadcast channel.
Yeah.
She reposted something you posted.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, hey, I'm looking for people to jam with.
Definitely.
And I was like, oh, I could jam.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay. And then we just like didn't talk for
a
a
while.
while. And then I posted a video. I think it was like some kind of weird guitar tone. It was similar to that one I was using today.
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, this is cool. Can you play on something?
Yeah.
And then we started emailing.
And then the rest is history.
The rest is history. Now you're here.
Yeah. Now I'm here.
And since you're here, we're going to do the brand new segment of the podcast called Pick a Card. These are the Denhoff conversational cards. They're actually just regular playing cards.
Use your imagination.
But it's coming in the works. Okay, so essentially how this goes is we're going to shuffle these cards. We're going to fan them out. You're going to pick 3 cards.
Okay.
Each card is linked to a question.
Okay.
And you can decide who answers which question.
Okay. Sounds good.
You, me, AJ.
Okay.
Here you go.
Gotta get the ASMR.
Nice.
One more.
Beautiful. Okay.
All right, Jacob, go ahead and fan out these cards. Let's see what the universe has in store for us today.
Okay. I guess I'll like look away.
Sure.
The first one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this is the
Card number 2.
one, and then this one.
Card number 3. Okay, what do we got?
Okay, so I have heart, 10 of hearts. How do you do this?
10 of hearts?
10 of hearts.
10 of hearts. Okay, 10 of hearts. What's the boldest thing you've done for love?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, next card, next card. Next card.
2 of spades. Is that a little clover?
2 of spades. Yeah, 2 of
Clover's club, I think.
Oh, club, sorry.
Okay.
I could just also show. Sorry.
Yes.
2 of, let's see.
2 of clubs, yes.
Clubs.
Okay, 2 of clubs. What's the most electric collaboration you've experienced? Okay, what's the last one?
And then 6 of diamonds.
6 of diamonds. What would you create if you had unlimited resources? So recap, boldest thing you've done for love, the most electric collaboration you've experienced, and what would you do if you had what would you create if you had unlimited resources? So, Paloma, you get to choose which one you want to answer, which ones you want us to answer. You can go first, you can go last.
Okay, I'm going to do the unlimited resources one.
Okay.
And then Jacob, you could do the 10 of hearts.
Okay.
Okay.
So Jacob's going to tell us the boldest thing he's done for love.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about the most electric collaboration I've experienced.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Paloma, you want to start?
Sure.
Okay. What would you create if you had unlimited resources?
If I had unlimited resources, I would probably... Why did I pick this one? Okay. Okay. Well, first and foremost, I think I would start by helping like my parents, like close family. I would definitely like I always think of like making like a little town where all my loved ones are, just so we could all be next to each other, even like my friends, like build houses for them and we all like, take care of each other's kids, make a little, not a commune or a cult, not that, but just like a place.
Just a little town.
Just a little town. Just a town.
Just a community.
Community, yes. And then I'd probably just really like deck out a home studio for myself. I would love to like not have to go anywhere to like record. I think the rest would just be like creating centers for, I don't know, queer at-risk youth, places to, for them to be creative, whether it's art or like music or acting or anything they want, and just like donate to like a bunch of queer, Black, trans, everyone, communities. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Very selfless.
Very humanitarian of me.
Yes.
I love that. I feel like that's also it was very reasonable. Like, I think that question you can take it extreme places, but like that's like a life mission. That's like you can accomplish.
I really don't want to do much. Like, I'm good with like
Yeah.
I am staying at home most of the time. Like, I
a
love
house
chilling.
and a studio and an art center for youth
and just like donating.
Yeah.
Lamborghini, Ferrari, Bugatti.
Yeah.
Boat, yacht, plane.
No, cars are overrated.
I agree. I honestly am a part of like the group of people that think that cars literally just take you from A to B. Like, just get it like fixed or whatever, like oil change, gas, that's it. I'm not really like a car person. I'm definitely into like houses. Like, I would build a really beautiful house because I'm just a homebody. I think that's fun.
And I feel like houses are a lot better than cars.
Yeah, because you're staying there most of the time.
Yeah,
you want to be as comfortable as possible.
And there's just something so special about like having a place that is like curated perfectly to you.
Yeah.
Like, just an environment, like having a good environment does so much, like you don't even realize it.
Truly, like just having like a safe space and just being so comfortable is like all I really want is to just be comfortable. So
I love that. That was a great answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Jacob.
I got to go last. I got to go
last.
I
I think that's the most like crazy question.
Tee me up.
Okay. So, what is the most electric collaboration you've had, AJ?
Okay. What's the most electric collaboration I've had? Electric is an interesting word.
Such a crazy word.
It is, but I like it though.
What collaborations have I had that were electric?
That one time where you met up with Thomas Edison. That one was pretty cool.
And creative. Oh my God.
I never knew you played trombone, dude.
Like, what's the definition of electric? Just like anything that's like crazy fun.
I think like you feel energized by it. You're like, oh.
Whenever you play like live.
Maybe live. I think. So come on, something's gonna pop out. I think. Okay, the most electric collaboration I've ever had was in college. It was for a comedy group called Meow. So this is like the Northwestern like top comedy group, and they do a show once a year or like twice a year, and it's like live improv and sketch and stuff. But then they have a house band, and the band plays like little interludes between sketches, and then also at the halfway point of the show, we would play like a 30-40 minute set of just whatever, and everybody comes up on stage and dances. That was the most electric collaboration. So me and my friend Jamie co-directed it, and we had like complete creative control over all the songs, all the interludes, we were like integrated in the show at times. There was improv pieces where we would just start playing something and they had to just start doing something, and then we'd change the music and they had to kind of adapt to the tone.
That's fun.
But yeah, we did all kinds of, we were doing like Mo Bamba with like a live 7-piece band.
Oh, that's so cool though.
Like I remember just like tuning my bass down and just like yeah, we did some Mo Bamba, we did like some Doja Cat songs, we were doing David Bowie, but then we were doing like I think we did what's the Bruno Mars song with Cardi B?
I know which one you're talking
Finesse,
about.
I think.
Yeah.
We did like Finesse with a live band, and then we had 2 singers and a rapper in the house band, and they all like put their own verses on everything.
Wow.
But it was fun. Still good friends with a lot of those people. Honestly still friends with everybody in that band, and it was a really cool experience. Jamie's got his band now, Wide Mouth. They're doing their thing in Chicago.
Shout out Jamie, shout out Wide Mouth.
Shout out Jamie, shout out Shaliak, shout out Todd, shout out Christina, shout out Emily, shout out Clay. Shout out Darshan. Shout out. Was that everybody? I feel like I'm going to forget one person and he's so bad. I think that's everybody.
Shout out Martian.
Yeah.
Shout out Venus.
But yeah, that was a really cool experience. It's just anytime you can have creative control is one thing. Making music with your friends, making music for an audience that's so eager to just be excited.
Yeah.
You know, for like a crowd of drunk college kids, like they're just ready to dance.
I would have went crazy. That sounds so fun.
But yeah, that was a fun time.
Wow.
The most electric collaboration. Yeah, that sounded like a fun time.
Yeah, it was pretty electric. It's pretty cool. All right, Jacob.
Oh goodness.
What's the boldest thing? How about what's a bold thing?
What's the
What's
boldest?
a bold thing you've done?
Okay.
In the name of love.
Okay, so I wanted to go last because I thought that this question was just kind of a lot more than the other two questions. And I also just needed the extra time to think about it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm this isn't necessarily for love because I wasn't in love.
Okay.
For this story, right?
Okay.
But I just think that it shows the lengths that I am willing to go.
Okay.
And also it is so far away and like not part of my life anymore that I feel comfortable saying this story. Okay. Just a caveat. Okay. That's my little asterisk.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so the boldest thing I ever did for quote unquote love, right, was I'd met this person on Instagram. And they lived all the way in Texas, and we just like really hit it off.
Yeah.
And so after a little bit of like talking to each other over Instagram, I was like, oh, like I want to come out to Texas and see you. And she was like, all right, cool. Let me get an Airbnb and then you can come out and just whatever. Right. So we set it up. And so I literally drove the fucking, I don't know how long it is. Like,
you drove?
Yeah, I drove from here to Texas for like 14 hours straight. And I went and I spent a weekend with this person, and it was a good time. But like obviously nothing ever like came about it or anything.
That's bold for sure.
That is very bold.
Bold
Real
for me,
lover.
and bold for her too, because it's like also you're just
you
gonna
don't know
like
this man.
Yeah, like I don't know you don't know me. We're just gonna like spend the weekend together in like the same
That's
house
crazy.
and sleep in the same bed.
That's
like
so crazy.
That was fucking nuts. So
no, we're both bold.
Yeah, we were both bold. So yeah, that was probably like one of the bolder things that I've done for attention.
No, I get it. No, I get it. I get it.
One thing about this guy, he loves a drive.
I do love a good drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember after because I knew that was pretty much like it. Like that was the end when I was leaving Texas.
Yeah.
So I just remember for the first like 3 hours of my drive back to Florida, I was just like sobbing, crying. Just for like 3 hours straight.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I'm just like in the middle of nowhere on a fucking giant ass Texas highway. There's trucks passing by me at 120 miles an hour.
You're like, what am I doing?
I'm just sobbing, crying. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck happened? What the hell just happened to me, man?
No, I think that people need to be more bold when it comes to love. I think it's just like nothing has to be super serious. I feel like people take things so seriously. Like that's so great that you did that. You had that experience.
Yeah. It was a good one for sure. I mean, the ups and downs of it, I think it make for a really good story.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah. So that I would say that's probably one of the more bolder things that I've done for love. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have any bold stories. I do, but I don't think I do actually.
Okay. Yeah. You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't. It's okay.
It's okay. You didn't get that card.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah. Wow. I never thought that I would ever talk about that, to be honest. I kind of forgot about it entirely.
You can cut it if you want.
Nah, that's staying in.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
That's staying in. That's staying in.
No, I think it is bold. I think it's bold in a good way.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out to you were cool.
Oh.
Okay.
No one is ever gonna know who that is. That's just that's never gonna.
I'm just saying you're giving Nardwar a lot to work with.
But like Nardwar is who is
that's gonna give him a long way.
I might actually bleep that one.
Bleep that
okay,
one.
That one's getting cut. But shout out to that person though. Like for real, like we had a good time. It was cool. Like that's a fun story. I hope that they also are able to tell that story in a similar fashion. Be like, this is this.
Yeah, they're on their own podcast in Texas.
Yeah, funny, crazy thing that was going on.
Yeah. I love that.
What's the boldest thing you've done? They don't talk like that.
She has a Texan accent.
What do they talk like?
Yeah.
Okay, so back
I love these questions. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
Where did you guys like make these up or did you find them somewhere?
I like.
You can also cut this if you want people to think.
No,
that
yeah,
you
we can
made
talk
them all.
about it. We
Yeah,
can talk
no.
about it. The first big inspiration was playing We're Not Really Strangers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
A
love
couple
that
times
game.
with friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "This is fun. Like, this is a nice thing to just have around."
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking it would be cool for us to have just a set of questions to use for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point, I'm like, "Oh my goodness, playing cards!" Because then you can
Mm.
also just like play
Card games.
card
Yeah.
games, but then you have the questions and just like to have it. So I just took a giant set of questions from. There's one that's like, I think it was like a New York Times thing about like the 30-something questions that lead to love.
Mm-hmm.
That was an inspo for the love questions, and then just like found a big bunch of questions online, and then AI assisted was like, okay, take all these questions and all these themes and like help me connect it to the
Yeah.
suits. So then we got like a draft, and then we just sat through and went through every question.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them that weren't really that great, we just kind of cut
Yeah.
Mhm.
and just kind of kept iteratively having it replace them until we
Mm.
get them to where we like them. I think they still have a little bit more work.
Yeah.
They're good. I like them.
But yeah, there's some good
Thanks.
ones in there for sure.
Yeah. There's some
Yeah.
good ones in there.
Even just from those three, I'm like, okay, these are like very broad and like different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make you think of different things, so I like that.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
it's fun to just kind of like break up the conversation a little bit, just
Mhm.
get some like fun
Mm-hmm.
questions going.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I like the concept. I think it's cool. So
You guys are doing great.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
The only podcast where you make a song, you got 52 questions that you randomly select from.
Yeah. No, I told my friends about it, and they're just like, that is so cool. Because we
Hey.
love, like, NPR, like,
Yeah.
Tiny Desk, and just, like, we love watching, like, just artist interviews.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys are, like, blending both of them is very, very creative and very smart, and a great move.
Thank
Great
you.
move.
Yeah, we kind of stumbled onto it.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah. It just kind of happened on accident, but like now we're here and it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed the whole process. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great for everyone involved.
Yeah.
It's just like such a good time.
No, I'm having a great time.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so back to the music, right?
Okay, yes.
Paloma, where
Mhm.
where would you like to see your musical career go?
I always think of like certain artists that I want to like emulate like the level of fame, because I think fame is a very scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like someone like Phoebe Bridgers, I
Mm.
feel like has such a good amount of fame. Like she has that core group of fans and she tours, and I don't know. I feel like she can still like walk down the street and people wouldn't like bombard her. But I do want to perform live. I want a core group of fans who, maybe not fans, but just like people who relate to my music. I feel like I want anyone who relates to my music to feel seen and heard, and to come to like shows and just like scream their heart out and just like have a good time. But that's basically it. I want to put all my music on Spotify, like on like all the streaming platforms, and yeah, hopefully just like grow social media and start performing more and go on tour at one point, because that would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so what do you have in the works right now?
What else am I working on? I feel like I'm always working on my podcast with my best friend. Shout out Angelica.
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah, shout out the
anymore?
podcast.
It's not out anywhere. We are
Ah.
the biggest procrastinators
Oh.
ever, but we're trying to make a podcast. Just us two sitting on the couch, just like goofing and gaffing,
Mhm.
talking about current events and pop culture and music and movies and shit. I am definitely working on an album. I want like a full-length album. But before
Ooh.
that, I want an EP.
Mhm.
I would love to finalize an EP in the like first quarter or something of this year. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also, well, not to be like personal, but like I'm also working on like my master's degree right
Yeah.
now. So hopefully get that done, because kind of getting tired of school. I've been in school for like 10,000 years, I feel like. And yeah, honestly, just hopefully for this year is mostly just traveling more with my friends and spending time with my family and being able to take lots of pictures. I really want to take more pictures on film and write more and just like really hone in on my creativity and the love around me and like my friends and love of my friends. Love you guys. But yeah, I know you're watching. I don't know which one, but you're watching. I know you are. So yeah, that's basically what I'm working on this year. Yeah. Pretty chill year, honestly.
Where do you want to go?
Oh, like travel? Yeah. Well, my other best friend, Ishmael, shout out, is in Spain right now. Ooh. And he said that he wanted to bring us to Spain because he has like friends there too. So later this year, I think I'm going to go to Spain. I think I'm just going to go to Europe for the first time. Just like hit like Paris, Italy, Spain, maybe London or something. But
do the tour.
Do a whole tour.
Yeah.
Not like a guided tour with anyone because I think like the 4 of us would be like really annoying on a group tour. So I feel like we should probably just like, I'm also a very much like itinerary person. Mm-hmm. So I've already like written down everything and what days we have to go, like our accommodation. So
you are the tour guide.
I'm the tour guide. Mind you, I'm the tour guide. Little did they know I'm the tour guide. So, yeah, that's basically want to go. And also I want to go to the West Coast in the States and New York. But that's it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
I hope you have a year full of travel and fun and creativity.
I hope so too. Thank you.
Yeah, we're so early on into the year, but also at the same time, this month is almost over.
Yeah.
We're almost onto the second month. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Just time going by.
So many things have happened already in this month. It's just gosh, please. Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's definitely overlap too of like being a performing musician and kind of like traveling, being new places. Like I've definitely connected to people and then gone somewhere based off a connection of like mutual just interest in each other's sound or but then getting to meet people, because that's like I think that's the first tour you do is just like visiting friends in different cities.
Definitely.
You know, and like getting that introduction to people there, and then just like keep making stuff, hope that it resonates, and one day you're Phoebe Bridgers. You got more fans than you know what to do with.
I would love that. Also, like to collaborate with just like everyone that's on like in my head.
Yeah. Who do you want to work with?
Like artists, like big artists, like anyone.
Big, small, medium.
I would love to work with. Phoebe. Yeah, like Boy Genius. Like all 3 of them are like really good. One day Frank Ocean would be.
Frank Ocean doesn't even work with himself.
I know, but I'm putting it out in the universe that hopefully one day Frank, FK Twigs, just like also anyone who's maybe like Bon Iver would be really cool, because I feel like he can make music with anyone and he just adds such a distinct sound to it. McGee, love McGee. I don't know who else.
I don't know why I feel like McGee would be down. Like all those names, all those names feel so distant, and then I just see him like just with a beer, like
and you don't have to you can cut this, but McGee, I did meet you after your after the Atlanta concert, like in September, and great concert.
Did you ask to make a song?
No, I was.
Were you like, here's my mixtape?
I was drunk. So I was just like, I was like, what? Why is McGee like standing right in front of me right now? I was so confused. I was drunk, and then I was with my best friend, and we were just like talking in the like line, like waiting for him. And we had waited for so long that we were kind of probably getting delirious at that point. And so then when he finally like walked up, we were like having a conversation. We're like, oh, that's why we're standing here. Like, oh, right.
That's what we're here for.
Hey, like, what's up? Like, your tour, the concert was great. But no, I'll meet him again one day, and then we'll make music together.
Yeah. Sure. Anyone here in Tampa that you would want to work with?
Ooh, I said that I'm not like super well versed in like the Tampa artists. I think I'd have to like research more.
Yeah, you gotta look around.
Yeah.
You gotta browse.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tampa, I mean Doechii.
Yeah. Doechii.
Yeah. I mean, shout out Doechii. True. I would love to work with her, because I like anyone who genuinely isn't boxed into a genre.
Yeah.
I guess, because I'm someone who like I want to make music that sounds like any genre. Oh, Billie Eilish. That's like someone who's like can do any genre, I feel like, and is insane. So yeah, anyone who just loves to experiment with different sound, like even if you are a rapper or anything, like the instrumental is like, I don't know, like orchestra or something, like, and add like a trap beat to like an orchestra, you know, something like that. Like anything that's like really like eclectic and kind of like weird and what you wouldn't think an artist would do. I love anyone who's kind of like subjective and does something that's not part of the norm. So yeah, anyone like that, hit me up in Tampa if you want to work together. I guess.
Little Paloma.
Yeah.
Also, Dochi, you should come onto the podcast.
Shout out Dochi. Please come onto the
Dochi.
podcast.
Please
I feel like you'd love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Dochi, if you're around.
She's definitely like
we'll have her on one day.
Yeah, up there for me. And like hoping dream guest. That's exactly.
But yeah, I kind of hope that can be one nice thing about the music we're doing on this too, is like you can go through and listen to the mixtapes, and if you like a song, you can know that whoever that person is, they're around. Yeah. You know, and like kind of at a similar stage of I don't know what you call it, but
similar stage in their career.
Yeah. And yeah, you could like hit somebody up. Like I remember Nimbus was here last week, and he like hadn't I don't think he's met anybody that we've worked with before, but he heard Changing, the song that we did with Leah. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, like I love that song. I'll keep listening to it. And I was like,
shout out to Leah.
I was like, hit her up. Like she's around.
No, I definitely want to make, because we are like working on like we're working on something that Leah, like that guitar that she did, and it's literally like probably my favorite thing that I've made so far. Like that is so good. I forgot the name that I even gave the song, but just to work with her again and like have a sit down and just like fully, you know, write that whole thing would be really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Leah. You're amazing.
Shout out Leah. Friend of the pod. Leah Evilise. But yeah, I don't know. And then maybe we could even have a bunch of people over, like have a big session.
Yeah.
See what comes out of that.
See what happens.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Who knows?
Yeah. All right, Paloma. Do you get inspiration from anywhere else that's not music? Film, shows, books?
Oh yeah.
You're a big reader, aren't you?
Big reader, big media consumer. I'm not social media consumption, but I love films, like Letterboxd. Follow me on Letterboxd. Well, maybe I'll change it to whatever my Instagram handle is, and then you can just like voice over, like block that out. And Paloma with PALO5A. That's what probably the new Letterboxd name will be.
Paloma?
Okay, guys.
Do people say that?
All my friends call me Paloma. Now, inspiration, speaking of like movies, there was a movie that Vanessa Hudgens did. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like after High School Musical, and I think it's called Band Slam or something. It's based on music in like high school or whatever. And her name was Sam, and she would sign her name with a 5 instead of an S. And that's literally the only reason why. And also my birthday's in May.
So then wouldn't it be Pelosa?
Yes, guys, I don't know. Like, I really don't know.
Look, it's just inspiration.
Yeah. And I would love my name to just be Paloma, but someone definitely already has that.
It's subversive.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah.
But everyone calls me Palofa or Palomi. But anyways, I do get a lot of inspiration from film. Like my favorite movies, like my top 4. Wait, what if Letterboxd like interviews me one day? And I'm like, wait, top 4. I have to tell them my top 4 again, but whatever. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is like my number 1. I'd say Moonstruck with Cher from like the 80s or 90s. The Worst Person in the World. I think that movie came out like 2 or 3 years ago. It's like a Swedish or Danish movie. I
feel like I've heard of it briefly.
German? I don't know. A European movie. And then Howl's Moving Castle is like, those are my top 4. And I feel like there's a common like thread in all of those. Like just like love and like, I don't know. It's like a weird take on romance. Like all of those movies have a weird take on romance, which I really love. And books, I don't know. I have so many books that I read all the time, so I don't really have a favorite like in the moment.
What's a book that changed your mind on something, or like a book that
I'd
that
say
affected you, I guess?
either, I feel like there's a common answer, but The Alchemist
Mm.
by Paulo Coelho. I don't remember his last name or like his name. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
The
something like that.
Alchemist. I love Siddhartha also.
Uh-huh.
Love those two books. Oh, Ray Bradbury's like Fahrenheit 451. I think that's when I was like in 6th or 7th grade. That was like a mandatory like reading
Mhm.
on the list or whatever, and it that book changed my life. That was the first book that I was like, oh no, people can write, like this is insane, because he is very like 1984-esque like dystopian world where like all books are being burned and like people cannot have access to like education and intellectualism, like it's like stripping, yeah. So I think that's when I kind of got like radicalized, when I was like 12 and I was like, wait guys, did you ever read this book? This is crazy. And it also talked a lot about technology and like the dangers of technology, so I love that book so much. But yeah.
What books are you reading right now?
What am I reading right now? I just finished this book called Sunburn. That was really, really beautiful. And then I also, last year I read like Luster. There's this book called Luster that's really good. And I'm kind of taking a break because I finished one already in January, so I'm trying to do like one a month to like break myself, like give myself a break. But I finished Sunburn this month, and it was really good.
Nice.
And for TV shows, sorry, I'm just like
No,
I
keep going.
love
Yeah,
yeah.
I love media. So TV shows, I'm really into Severance again. It's an
Did
Apple
you
TV.
start watching the new Severance?
I did start watching. I watched the new episode yesterday, like the season 2, and it's genuinely, I think, the best TV, like one of the best TV shows of all time. Like,
Wow.
I recommend everyone to watch it because it has so many different themes in it, and it's so good. But yeah, Severance is like my number one right now. Yeah, but I also love comedy too. I don't know. I'm not so like, intellectual, radical.
Severance? I think I'm like 5 or 6 into it, and it's really interesting, but I also know I just couldn't recommend it to so many people.
What?
Like, I don't know. I think some people, that's just not what they're looking for.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I
yeah.
also love like it's very science fiction-y, and I feel like you have to
Yeah.
like pay attention to
Yeah.
a lot of it. And I think, a lot of people go to TV to like escape
It's not like a
reality.
background show or like
No,
Yeah.
to escape reality. So
Yeah.
this one's kind of like dystopian also, just like, whoa,
If you had to recommend one book to people, what would it be?
I'd say I love the book So Sad Today by Melissa Broder. I think that's it's a book of personal essays, and I just think whenever people write personal essays, I'm like, I feel like everyone should, even if you can't really relate to them, it gives you a better understanding of like different people's experiences. So Sad Today by Melissa Broder. It's really crazy, but it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Paloma.
Mm-hmm.
What role does love play in your life?
Oh, wow. I think it's, I think other than happiness and comfort, I definitely think it's like the top priority for me. I find love through not only romantic love, but like platonic love and parental love. I genuinely think, as cheesy as it sounds, like love makes the world go round. Like the feeling of love to me is like whatever passion you have behind doing anything, like getting up in the morning or like making a coffee, that's like love to me. Like love is creating anything, creating a sense of comfortability, of vulnerability with anyone. So yeah, love is like one of the things that I write most about is love. But yeah, that's probably what most of my songs are probably about. And yeah, love.
Can you say more on that of like the self-love of getting up in the morning and making a coffee and
no, I think that it takes, some days it's really, really hard, obviously, like it takes a lot, but the compassion and the dedication you take to do anything for yourself or others, I think it genuinely makes what is good about life, honestly. Like I don't know, sometimes I say things and I don't even remember like what I even said, but but basically that just always I feel like I'm a very, at sometimes, overly considerate person, like overthinking a lot with like other people, and am I making everyone feel comfortable, and I'm making everyone feel heard and seen, and I just put that out into the world because I want it back. I feel like if people were, kinder, more empathetic, the world would be a better place. But, yeah.
But we can care for ourselves and those around us. And
of course, yeah. That's the only thing you have is just like
take
you gotta
care
do
of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, so I can tell by your lyrics and your writing and stuff that you're a bit of a yearner.
Definitely.
So I feel like I've been running into a bunch of fellow yearners recently.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
fellow yearners.
My fellow
yearner.
Shout out to my fellow yearners.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like opened my eyes a little bit to the idea that it's like, I don't know. I just feel like I understand the whole sentiment you're saying. Like, it's like overthinking, just like making sure everyone feels heard and loved and seen and whatnot, right? But I think it's really easy to just get like lost in your own head about it and be like, this is only me. Like no one understands what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's like, how have you navigated that?
I think genuinely just like talking to my friends about it. Like I feel like whenever I get super introspective, I often like beat myself up and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I shouldn't be overthinking this. And I always like look to friends, but also I just write it out. Mostly at the end of like I wrote that song, like the most of my feelings towards a situation will probably like diminish as I like write it. And it is like a snapshot of what I was feeling at that moment. And I could just like let it out instead of like harboring over it. So I think genuinely just like writing about it, singing about it, talking about it with my friends. That's how you get like over it, or like through the yearning.
I love that about songwriting.
Yeah.
That like you can just have a different understanding of a feeling on the other side of making a song about it. Yeah.
Definitely. Are you a yearner?
For sure.
Okay, period. Yeah. Love that. Big yearners.
Big yearners.
Yeah.
Any yearners in chat?
Chat, are you a yearner? Are you guys yearners?
All right, chat, I just created a poll.
Yearner, yes or no? No, yeah. But I also think like yearning is very just like poetic. I don't know. It's very just like creative. I think that's yeah,
it is kind of romantic.
Yeah,
it just it invokes images in my head of like sitting on a porch with a guitar and a cigarette.
Yeah. No, I get that.
In black and white. No,
definitely.
Yeah. I think sometimes the wanting is nice, because having it's over. It is what it is. But the wanting can be anything.
I think that's why, like, I don't know, when you're someone who writes music, kind of being in that like in between, that like limbo of like not knowing and like that not understanding really gives you like drive to like write it out and like create something. And I think, I don't know, I feel like the tortured artist is a lot like the tortured artist like archetype is very much brooding and constantly like yearning, and I don't think they ever they don't want the satisfaction of like getting what they want, kind of, because you have so much ability to write about it, you know. That's what I think the tortured artist is.
Wow, the real yearner doesn't even want
what they're yearning for.
Clock it.
Wow. They yearn for the state of yearning.
Truly. And I think that's what it is. And then sometimes I'm like that. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I could easily just like say everything that's on my mind. But like, I'm actually just like going to keep it to myself. But the longer you keep it to yourself, the longer it kind of like.
It lingers and it manifests into, and turns into something completely different. Yeah, you can really torture yourself by the things that you don't say.
Truly. So.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. Sorry, did this get dark? I don't know.
No, it's not. I feel like it's real. I think it's actually nice to start conversations about the things people don't normally want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, because it opens up the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us about your podcast. You said it's gonna be like current events, kind of like pop culture-y.
Yeah. Me and Angelica, we've been friends for like going on 6 years now. We met in college, and honestly, like whenever we first met each other, it was just like this.
Yeah.
It was like twinum, love you. And I don't know, I've never met someone who shares so much of the same thoughts as me, and when we talk, it literally sounds like a different language. So I don't know, I've been inspired by like Emergency Intercom, you know, Drew and Enya. I don't know if you know them.
I've heard of Drew and Enya. I don't know. Oh wait, that's their
podcast. Yeah. Just like something like that, where it's like two best friends just like talking for a long time. And I'm sure, I don't know, I just hope that anyone can relate to us. I think they will. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll find people that do, and they'll really enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, because there's definitely people out there who are gonna resonate with it.
Yeah, just two best friends.
Cool. Okay, when's episode 1 drop?
AJ, these are crazy questions. I don't know. I don't know. I told you I was a procrastinator. I don't know.
And stay on the lookout. February 19th.
Yes.
She's like, ask me about Love and Yearning. Don't ask me about the day that the podcast releases.
I'm like, I'm an artist. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I mean, I think we've like recorded like 2 or 3 episodes, but I feel like I need to like edit them and like actually film them and stuff. So,
yeah.
But no, I would love to make that at one point.
Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I want more of my friends to make like YouTube videos or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
did you guys ever try to like make YouTube videos?
Yeah. So the original Changhoff concept was we did a daily vlog in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
For like 30 days or
I think it was like 50.
It's like 50 days where every day we would record what we did and then edit it and then post it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
It was
for
kind of
AJ.
fun. Yeah, I was editing at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like every night just getting home, dumping everything into Windows Movie Maker, and then just seeing what I could come up with. It was cool though. I think it was fun to just have that like. It was a little bit electric, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
It was
electric collaboration.
Electric. Just to like have to do homework and then like keep up with my friends and then also edit this vlog every night.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, it would come out and people would be like, oh yeah, I saw the scene where you guys did this, or it was fun. And I think a little community formed around it where people would like want to be in the videos or they would give us ideas of stuff.
That's sweet.
They'd be like, what's up, vlog? But yeah, it was cool. It was just a lot of work and was not sustainable.
No,
Yeah.
it was not sustainable in the long run for sure.
But yeah, then we took a long break, and then just like a year ago, I moved back to Tampa after college, and Jacob came back. You were in Cali for a bit, and then you came back, and we were both in the same city, and I think we'll both be here for a bit.
Yep.
So we were like, well, maybe we do a podcast.
Yeah.
And at first we were just talking, but then we had guests. We had my grandma on.
Oh,
we had just like our friends on.
I think it's so funny because it's like, yeah, like we're on the podcast, we're talking about the creation of the podcast, but I just think it's like such a canon event nowadays for like 2 early 20-year-old men to be like, let's start a podcast. Yo, let's do something that no one has ever done before.
Okay, and then the song part came from, we would get together to record, like just the two of us. And Jacob's like setting up audio stuff or whatever, and he's like doing setup, and I'm bored, so I'm making beats on my computer. And then we're like, okay, we got to start, but I'm like making this beat, and I'm like, okay, Jacob, freestyle.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then we had like made songs over the years just for fun, but then we made a song and I was like, wait, hold on, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
We might have to do something with this. And then I was like, okay, I'll make a little beat before the episode just to like get it out of my system, just to get my zoomies out. But then, you know, like I love producing. We had friends that make music, so then we're making songs with people, and it's like, oh, let's do it every time.
Yeah.
See how it goes. So
that's great.
Yeah, and now we're here, and I feel like we like kind of have a little bit of a original concept now, and people really love it. Like all the guests do. We love it. It seems to be getting really good feedback from the people that are out there, and they witness it. And
here we are. We made it. We're here with Paloma.
I'm changing it. Immediately.
We're here with Paloma. But yeah, I'm excited to just keep doing it. Definitely the rest of this year.
Yeah.
Probably more years, but
yeah.
And just like connect with people, make stuff. You know, they can speak on where they're at, where they want to be, what they think of things.
We're committed to 10.
Okay, great. Yeah.
10 years.
Years? Oh, I thought you meant like 10 songs for the season.
We're committed. 10 years.
I don't think I signed that
podcast.
You didn't sign that part of the contract?
We're committed. At least for like the next few years.
But yeah, and I'm looking forward to the community that forms around it, because there is a little bit of, you know, just our friends and people that come across it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like I could do 5 years.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes.
I don't know. I want to move at some, you know, like I want to.
Yeah. Anyway.
We'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's get through 2025.
Did you like living in California?
I loved living in California.
Did you live in LA?
I lived an hour south of LA in a city called Irvine.
Okay.
I had some family who already lived there in Irvine, so that's where I moved to. Right. And it was a really great time. I loved living in California. It was such a beautiful place. And interestingly, it was actually more affordable. Like, you think that people always say that California is really expensive. And it is. Don't get me wrong. It is. But it was actually more affordable for me to move to California than to move out here.
Really?
Because originally I was just trying to like move out of my parents' house and like get myself like a little apartment. Maybe I was looking with a friend. We would like move out together and find an apartment, but we just couldn't find anything that we could afford here in Florida. And so I moved to California actually during the pandemic because I had a essential job or whatever.
Yeah.
And so the place I was working at, when I moved to California, my pay went up by like $3. So then all of a sudden I was getting paid more, so then I could afford to actually live.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. Yeah. I really love living.
What a concept.
Right?
Hey,
what a fucking concept. So I loved living in California. I experienced a lot of really cool things. I met some really great people, and I did a bunch of things that I never thought that I would ever really get to do. And if my situation was better, I could see myself still living there.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know, that's not how it went, and I had to move back, but that's okay. Now we're here and having a podcast. And
no, that's amazing.
Yeah, having an awesome time.
Yeah, I want to move to Cali at one point. Yeah, definitely. I wanted to by the end of this year, but it's not looking good for me.
You're yearning?
I'm yearning to move
yearning for the West Coast.
To the West. There's something telling me to go to the West. But I think I'll stay another year.
Yeah. That's just part of the Tampa artist transfer portal. Yeah. Eventually you make it to the point where you're like, all right, do we go to New York or do we go to LA?
Yeah.
And honestly, makes sense.
Yeah.
Like LA or New York or it's like the place to be if you're trying to like really make music.
Yeah. Like be creative. I just cannot do it with the cold. Like I was born up north, so I'm just like I think I'm good with the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, go do it. Go live your LA life, and then you know, we'll be a tour stop.
Yeah.
You can always do a Tampa show on the tour.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I would love to play like. I saw Phoebe Bridgers at like the Tampa Theater in like Ybor, like outside. Like she did like a performance outside.
Outside.
Maybe it wasn't the Tampa Theater, but it was like there was a big stage. It kind of was like Janice Live, like that vibe. But I don't know if she like made some.
Maybe she built it with her own 2 hands.
Maybe, but I would have to
that.
see. I have to see where that actually was. But it was like close to Eborn. There was like a parking garage that like people were like on the top floor and didn't pay for a ticket, but just like stood on the on the top floor and just like chilled and like listened to the whole concert. It was really nice. It was a beautiful concert.
Oh.
I would love to play something like that.
I'm glad Phoebe Bridgers built that parking garage for us.
For us, yeah. To go to the...
She worked so hard.
Yeah.
Playing that concrete.
But Janice Live also, I would love to play Janice Live at one point. Ooh.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Can I take pictures or something? Can I be like on the photographer list?
Sure. Of course. Okay. Of course.
I won't use any flash.
Okay.
And we'll do a podcast
mid-concert.
Mid-concert.
I'm like, guys, focus your attention on the podcast that's happening down there.
Hey, can we be the opener?
No, you can't, because there's like comedians that open, or like there's musicians that open for comedians that open for musicians. I'm like, sure, you guys can set up the podcast.
Podcast opener for a concert.
Wait, I'm gonna start asking artists if we can open.
Would be so crazy.
I'm 100% sure that people have done that before.
Just like get somebody up from the crowd
and interview them.
What was your first experience with Paloma?
Where'd you first hear her music? Where'd you first hear it?
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, now pick 3 cards.
See, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's fun.
Honestly, you're kind of cooking with that one.
Right? Like,
you're kind of cooking.
Have like some audience interaction before. I don't know. Sometimes I don't need 3 openers before seeing a person.
Okay,
I just need something funny.
Write this down.
DJ too.
Write this down.
Keep the music going. You know?
Yeah.
I'll be like.
Period.
And then Jacob will be like, so what role does love play in your life? And
and then Skrillex starts playing.
Love.
Okay, speaking of emotions though, right?
Yes.
I asked about love,
Mm-hmm.
right? I want to go to the opposite side.
Okay.
What about hate? Does hate play a role in your life?
I honestly don't think so. I think, not to quote the Lumineer song, but like the opposite of love isn't hate. It's like indifference. I think maybe I'm more of like an indifferent person. I'm not really like a hater that much. I don't really get that mad at things. I don't know. I mean, obviously, yeah, I get mad, but like.
But not like a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You're not like hating on things. Okay, so you see your opposite side of love as indifference.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does indifference? What does
that look like to me? It's like just not paying attention to whatever I don't like, or like if it's like political or something, then it's like that is more of a strong feeling for me, like something that where it actually like affects people. But if it's like a influencer that's like doing something stupid, I'm like, okay, I don't care, just block that person. I don't know. I'm very like big on just like blocking and like,
because the attention is the currency that they
definitely
that's the value of them doing it.
Yeah,
like I've literally heard interviews of artists that talk about like, to stay touring and stay filling venues, like you need a little bit of controversy.
Definitely.
To like keep your name in the news.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, I guess indifference is kind of like the response that doesn't give them what they're looking for.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I'm just like, I'm not gonna like spew. I don't think I've ever left like a hate comment. I just every time I like look through comments, I'm always like an observer. I think it's really funny. Not funny, but I think it's like
not funny,
like goofy for people to get like so angry to like fight in comments and stuff. But maybe I'm just like not really a social media person like that. But
that just reminds me of the Tyler the Creator tweet where it's like, how are you getting cyberbullied? Just close the laptop.
Like literally turn off your phone. But yeah, I'm very like indifferent to stuff like that. I can watch from afar, but I'm just like, I'm not really into it. But yeah. So
what about heartbreak?
Whoa. I'm like, wait, these are crazy questions. I'm like, yeah. Heartbreak, what does that play in my life?
Yeah.
I feel like I think with each heartbreak, it gets like less and less. Like the hurt becomes less and less. I feel like now I'm very like, I know how to like deal with my emotion, like regulate my emotions way better. But heartbreak, I'm an artist. It's like, it's fuel for things, writing things. And I don't know, I would never like say like people should get heartbroken, but it is a very important lesson in life to learn, to just like maybe just like not get what you thought you wanted, I guess, is like a very important lesson to me. I feel like I learned like out of like way younger with heartbreak, like sometimes things don't work out the way you thought it was going to, and that's okay. Like you're gonna be fine afterwards. Like you're gonna like it's gonna suck for a really long time.
Yeah.
But it's also like very important to like learn that not everything works out the way you want it to.
Yeah.
And then you can write about it.
Boom, and then you can make a fire ass song.
Yeah.
About being heartbroken as fuck.
Yeah.
There's some bell hooks thing about like when your heart breaks, it leaves cracks, and the cracks open your heart. And like talking about opening your heart as a good thing, and we use that language. They're like, oh, open your heart, or like, but sometimes you gotta crack that thing open.
Yeah,
that'll open it for sure.
I think it also, with like time and like different experiences, you are like you're better at kind of seeing from like an objective point of view, like, oh, like this person might not be good for me. Like way before you even like get to the point of falling in love, you know? So I don't know. I think it's a very important thing to experience in order to like know what you want and you don't want in the future. That makes sense.
Yeah, you lose like the naivete.
Definitely.
Of like, oh, this is gonna be perfect.
We're gonna get married. It's like, probably not. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. It's heartbreak is interesting. I feel like it's one of those things that you would never wish on someone. Yeah. But you just know that that it's something that everyone has to go through.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it's like it teaches you things. It really does.
It does.
Like it teaches you like connection. Like, hey, you can have a really good connection with someone, but sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's completely fine.
Yeah. And
you grow and you move on from it. So I don't know. But getting through heartbreak, I use my music to get through heartbreak and get through honestly anything. I write about like everything. Like existentialism, like death, like anything. I feel like any like hard thing in life, using music, but also like therapy and stuff, like using different like resources to like get through it and like find connection with other people through it is the most interesting part, I guess. Yeah.
So do you feel like, now this might be getting a little deep, but do you feel like
I'll be like, cut it then. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you feel like in love you are kind of slow and steady with it, or do you feel like you're more of a diver?
I think with time, definitely more like slow and steady, and like with more and more experiences, like slow and steady, just like just to make sure, like protection. But once I'm in love, like, you know, you're in love, like you can't really like slow it down, I guess. But I don't know. It's taken like a lot of like time to, you know, finding yourself through everything, and knowing what you like and what you don't like is just, it gives you like, you know, some pointers on what to do in the future. So now I'm just very like, very much slow and steady wins the race, I believe. Yeah.
So what are some of your like songs or writings or like projects that like come to mind that are inspired or because of these emotions, whether it's love or heartbreak or yearning or whatever, that like come to mind, or some of your favorites?
Maybe like my song Give Me a Call is one that's just like very much yearning, but I don't know, it's the confusion of whether or not you really want this person or you really don't want this person. It's just like very much like the confusion of the yearning. I think Give Me a Call is a good one. I think the one we did today, like Close to Call, very much like yearning, but also like that introspection and the overthinking of like, okay, how can we navigate this? Like, do I want to or do I not want to, you know? And yeah, I think it's woven into like a bunch of different things in my music, and like hopefully we get to like make more at one point. to make like a whole like EP of the things that like I've talked about today. But yeah, those are my two ones I think for right now. Can't really think off the top of my head.
Yeah, I mean, you've written so much too, and like you're continuing to write. I feel like that skill and that process is like super developed. It's just the stuff that comes after.
Yeah.
And that's not even stuff that you necessarily have to develop, but it's just you just gotta find the other pieces and the other people to pass it on to,
collaborate with and to share it with, and that's a joy. Because
some people's opposite. Some people it takes them so long to write lyrics. But then they can like write chords or they can write so you gotta find your collaborators. Other pieces.
Yeah, I'd love a full band. I feel like that'd be really cool.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Because I love live music, so any full band would be really dope.
If there's any full bands out there,
if you need a front lady or whatever, like a Gwen Stefani type esque, you know what I mean?
Hit up
how
Paloma.
she has like a bunch, like she has a full band behind her. No, yeah, I'd love that.
Okay. Cool.
I had a question, but
what?
Go ahead.
I lost it.
Oh, okay.
I lost it because I started joking. Haha, look, if there's any bands out there, interrupt.
So Paloma, have you lost anything?
Have I lost anything?
Like Jacob lost this question.
Yeah.
The world is lost.
But yeah, I don't know. What else?
I don't know. I think we've covered a lot.
Okay.
I think we're at a good...
I'm like, was this like a super like deep for no reason episode? Has anyone like yapped as much?
What reason do we need?
No, but like for me, like yapping for so long. Like, was this like...
No, I think it's a moderate length.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This was perfect.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, Paloma, before we wrap it, anything you want to say? Anything you want to tell somebody? Anything you want to put on record as a little time capsule to look back on?
I'll probably say to my future self, trust your gut, go with your intuition, and spend time with your family and friends. I don't know, and keep making music because you love it the most. That's the thing you like the most to do. So, yeah. Also, hope everyone's having a good day wherever you are, or night, whatever time you're listening to. That's the thing I have to say, I guess.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, I really like that. A little time capsule to yourself.
Yeah.
If you look back on this episode in 6 months or a year or whatever, I can see that being like a really nice part to get to at the end. Just like, oh, yeah, that's right. I said that to myself.
Hope you're doing well. You in 6 months. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll send you the episode in 6 months with the timestamp.
Period.
You're like, hey.
Okay, and where can people find you if you want them to find you? If you don't want them to find you,
you guys can find me on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah.
Yo.
Instagram. No, not TikTok. Instagram and what's the other one?
Twitter.
No, not Twitter. Instagram and
Snapchat.
I don't know. Just find me on Instagram. PALO5A, and it might change by then, but whatever. You'll find me. So
you'll find her.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Paloma, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It was an absolute pleasure. You are incredibly talented. I wanted to say this. Actually, this is what I lost. I just wanted to say that it was very It's always very impressive seeing you write because it comes out so quickly and so developed. And I could just tell that you've been doing this for a long time, and it really shows. You're very talented, very impressive. I love your music. I love your voice, and. Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you onto the podcast and to make a song with you, and for coming onto the podcast and the mixtape and everything.
Oh, thank you.
Be on the lookout for that.
Oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
That's all we got.
Woo!
This is Chang Hoff. That's AJ. I'm Jacob. That's Paloma. Peace.
Wait, you have your tag.
Oh, I love what I do, and I love being able to say it. Thank you guys so much for helping make my dreams come true. And AJ's.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, peace.
Peace. Boom, 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 boom. See you at the listening party.